I never believed in curses until I set foot inside my grandmother's old house. When she passed away last autumn, the lawyer said she'd left it to me, a crumbling two-story building on the outskirts of town, surrounded by dying trees and silence so thick it pressed against your skin. Everyone in the family had avoided that house for years. My mother used to say it wasn't safe. I thought she meant the roof or the wiring, not something else. The moment I turned the key, the front door opened with a long, wet groan, as if the wood itself was breathing. The air smelled of mildew and something faintly metallic, like old blood. Inside, everything was exactly as my grandmother had left it, her rocking chair still swaying slightly, her teacup half filled on the table, the clock frozen at 3:17. I called out, "Hello," just to break the tension. But the house seemed to answer, a whisper, soft and deliberate, drifting from upstairs. I froze. Maybe it was the wind. Maybe my nerves. But then I heard it again, clearer this time. My name. Clara. I should have left then. But curiosity always wins over fear, doesn't it? I followed the whisper up the staircase. Each step complained under my weight, and the wallpaper peeled away like decaying skin. At the top of the stairs hung portraits of people I didn't recognize, pale faces, hollow eyes, all staring at me with grim familiarity. My grandmother used to paint. I remembered that. But these portraits weren't hers. Their signatures were in a language I didn't understand. And yet, one of the faces looked exactly like me. The air grew colder. My breath fogged in front of my lips. And behind me, a faint creak. The rocking chair downstairs had started moving again. I told myself I was imagining things. But when I turned toward the hallway, I saw something impossible. The eyes in the portraits had shifted. They were now looking away from me, toward the end of the corridor. That's when I noticed the faint line of light beneath a door. The whisper came again, urgent this time. "Clara, come see." The door opened before I touched it. Inside was a small room filled with candles, all lit, though I hadn't touched a match. In the center stood an old mirror, its surface rippling as though it were made of water. And in the reflection, I saw her. My grandmother. Smiling. "Grandma." My voice trembled. Her reflection tilted its head, the smile widening just a little too much. "You came back," it said, though her lips didn't move. The sound came from behind the glass. I wanted to run. But something about that smile held me in place. My grandmother had been kind, gentle. The woman in the mirror radiated hunger. She reached out, and for a second, the surface of the mirror rippled toward me, like a living thing. I stumbled backward, knocking over a candle. It hissed and went out. Her voice grew softer, almost pleading. "It's lonely here, Clara. I waited so long. Don't leave me again." My throat tightened. "You're not her," I whispered. Her expression changed, disappointment, then anger. "You took the house. You took my place. You belong here now." Then the glass cracked, just once, a long spiderweb fracture running across her face. And from within, a dark hand pressed against the surface, trying to break through. I ran. The house came alive around me. Doors slammed shut. The floorboards pulsed beneath my feet like a heartbeat. From every direction came whispers, hundreds of them, all saying my name. I tried every exit. The windows were sealed. The front door refused to open, no matter how hard I pulled. The whispers grew louder, overlapping until they became screams. Then, silence. Total, suffocating silence. In that stillness, I heard the clock ticking again. 3:18. Something brushed my shoulder, soft, like hair. I spun around and saw my reflection again in a small oval mirror on the wall. Only, it wasn't copying me. It was smiling. Slowly, it raised a hand to the glass, and I felt fingers slide across my skin. I screamed, shattering the mirror with my bare hand. The shards scattered, glinting in the candlelight. In every fragment, my reflection still moved, each one whispering, "Stay." I don't remember falling asleep, but I woke up on the floor near the front door. The morning light filtered weakly through the dusty windows. Everything was still. Had it all been a nightmare? The air felt different, lighter. I almost laughed. Until I saw my reflection again. In the hall mirror, I looked, wrong. My eyes were a shade too dark. My smile, a second too wide. And behind me, in the reflection, the house was still dimly lit by candlelight. But when I turned around, the hallway was empty. That's when I realized, I wasn't hearing the whispers anymore. Because they weren't outside. They were inside me. I tried to open the door, but my hands didn't move. The reflection smiled again, and whispered in my voice. "You belong here now." The glass rippled, and I saw her, my grandmother, standing where I should have been. Smiling. Alive. And on the other side, I was just, gone.